What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic, alongside my buddy Ben Rasa here, JazzRaz DFS over on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Go follow me at Eric Lindquist while we're at it. We're talking Underdog Fantasy. They have this incredible selection of tournaments here going for the four majors. It is best ball style. The stuff you know and love over at Underdog Fantasy for best ball streets. Now heading to the four major championships. We're here to break it all down for you. Ben, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. Yeah, we talked a little about this last week. We did a couple drafts. We're back for more. Underdog meets PGA. I know they've done some things, but this is a really cool format. We just hopped in a draft. We're going to talk about the rules, talk about the strategies, and hopefully give ourselves a little chance for a big sweat. Step one, making the team, giving us a shot for the Masters, because that is the first hurdle you have to clear in this format.
Yeah, so we're going to pull up right here, the Albatross. This is that tournament that we are going to be jumping in. It's $10, $100K to first. Pretty incredible stuff. They have other selections. You can jump in at the $3 iteration. They have a $250 iteration. We'll talk a little bit about those as well. But the Albatross, that's the biggie. $10 can get yourself up to $100K. We're looking at 4 rounds. So each major, as it goes across, we start in 6-person groups at the Masters. Then you head to the PGA Championship at Oak Hill in New York. Round 3, we're heading to the U.S. Open, Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles Country Club. And round 4, we're finishing it all out at Royal Liverpool with the 260-person final group. Going to be pretty crazy stuff. So lots of options. And hey, I just got an alert. Our draft is starting. But anything you want to talk about in terms of the rules and the scoring?
No, just real quick. You're in that first pot of 6. You have to win it to advance. You're in a second pot of 12. Top 2 make it. A third pot of 12, top 2 make it, and then you're in that final round with the big group. So we obviously have to blend risk reward. Let's see. Hopefully we can find our draft.
No, I was just pulling up the screen because I had it all covered. I was like,
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, man. It's going to be really interesting. My biggest takeaway, number one, I want to see how different is it going to be? You know, we've only done a couple of these. Like, are there going to be ones where a guy like Rahm or Rory really fall? Is someone going to reach up top and then...
Oh, we have the first pick.
Oh, okay.
We get the Scheffler Rahm selection here right from the get-go. So we talked about this before. It's hard to get exposure to Scheffler unless you're going to go one. Rahm, of course, is a great number 2, but they are so far and away the number... Scheffler. We're going Scheffler here, right?
That's fine. I mean, I think listen, if you're building multiple teams, I'd want a blend of both of them.
Yes.
If I was making one team, I'd probably right now, the way Scheffler's playing, go with him. So I get it. Both of them, that's not going to be the problem for the team. I can tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, we got other things. We're going to try to... So a couple of the strategies we've utilized, again, we did one of these last week. If you want to watch 2 of our drafts that we did last week, we're going to do 2 more for you today, going through this Albatross, $10 entry, $100K to first. But we talked about stacking in terms of skill sets. We talked about certain majors being able to be equipped, because it all comes down to, if you're trying to hit that big 100K, you got to get it done at Royal Liverpool, and just kind of keeping in mind people who might have better pedigrees there. And our guy, Rory, we ended up with him in both of our drafts. He sunk to 5 in one of them, I believe. The other one, we just took him right there at the number 3 spot, like I think would be the normal take. But he won this event at Royal Liverpool when it was hosted there in 2014. It is back. Hard not to like him there too now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you want someone when you get to that final round that you feel comfortable with. But at the same token, I think that's going to become even more important as we get to the later rounds. Is you're not going to need a guy who's going to compete in all 4 majors. Can you have a guy on your team that gets you through a specific round? And maybe it is that last round, because we've got a weird... we don't get to pick for quite a while. I mean,
we're going to be at the turn with some interesting choices, that's for sure. But we're going to be able to get everybody we want there. I love drafting at the turn in Underdog. I do for NBA for sure, where you can guarantee yourself like the top raw projected player, and then you can kind of jam together either game stacks or things of that nature. I think for this, it's just like we can put together skill sets so much easier because we don't have to wait to put 2 of them together.
And we looked at, one of our teams was a little bomber heavy. I'm not sure.
We're on the clock now. Speaking of, we've got Finau, Hovland, Cam Young coming off of a great match play performance. We'll see how that carries over. Your boy Sung Jae. Where are we going here?
To me, I want Tony Finau on one of these two picks. Obviously, it doesn't matter which one it is. I like him quite a bit. I think he's primed to take a step in any major. That's what I like about him. It's not just one major for Tony. My bigger question is, do you want to pair him with another bomber, or do you want to take someone like Sanjay, who's just an all-around player?
Just took Finau. We just got sniped on that one.
Tony.
Oh no, we took Finau.
Oh,
we have that.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know why it's showing us over here when we're over here, but either way, 3.1. Okay. Hovland, Young, Im, DJ. Are we going live?
You tell me.
Oh no. I feel like we got a lot of Victor Hovland last time around. I think having some Cam Young in our lives, if this Paul Tesori thing is going to end up working out for him, new caddy, new look on life.
Okay, that's fine. Again, so when you look at what we did there, ultimately, even though it got a little hectic, it worked out with kind of Scheffler fits all builds. That's not really a thing, but Finau and Cam Young off the tee, another variation of kind of an off the tee type stack that's emerging. It's early, but those are really strong players with the driver.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're kind of seeing what other people are doing. Doesn't really matter because, again, we need to be focused on how we're ensembling our team. But again, if you're looking for it here in the lobby as you go to PGA, looks a little jarring here. Make sure you switch this slate to the 2023 majors. Then you have the Albatross, the $250 long drive, $20K to first on that one. That looks pretty great. Just 432 entrants. Ooh. And then the $3 for the warm-up. You want to get your feet wet? Jump on in there. Almost filled. So that thing's going to fill. No doubt about it. This one, still more than half to go here. We've got the Masters starting up next week on Thursday. You got a winner for us yet in the major streets for Augusta?
I mean, I will say the same thing until I die, which could be rapidly approaching with Rory. Oh. Rory is going to eventually win the Masters, and I will call it just by default because I select him every year for the Masters, and I'll be doing that once again this year. It's got to be 10 straight years.
Oh my God, that's so great. Too bad his dad didn't bet him to win the Masters before he turned 30. Have you heard of that legendary story?
I have not.
So Rory McIlroy's dad apparently made a 500,000 pound wager that Rory McIlroy would win the Open Championship before he turned 30. And he made this bet when he was like 16 or 17 or something.
Smart.
Just saying. Or I think he won 500,000 pounds. So it was like 1 in 100 or something that they gave him. So he put like 5,000.
That's useful. I mean, he's got it. He's been so close. And the thing that's just dumb is, to me, Augusta might be the best fit for it. Like, just do it. Don't hit it into the ice plant. Don't do anything crazy. Just do it. And this year, Rory will help. All right. Are we back on the clock?
We're on the clock. Yes. So we got Scheffler, Finau, Young. I finally jumped into our draft here officially with everything over here on the right. So we're going Tommy Fleetwood, right?
Tommy Fleetwood or Neiman would be my two. I think Neiman's more of a home run play because we just don't know. One of the strategies, and we're going to talk about this on Evergreen, is how are these guys? I would probably go Fleetwood, but
we got Fleetwood clicked on first. Sorry, Tom Kim. You're a lovely human being, but step up in competition. He struggled. He's been good though overseas. Been good over in
Scotland.
We saw him in Scotland play well at the Scottish Open, and then over at the Open Championship, he just existed there for that one. But I don't mind this Joaquin shot out because, again, you just don't know.
You need some of that. So, again, we're trying to compete against thousands of other teams, and the live guys are going to be natural leverage because they're boom bust options. Some of them are not going to be in form. Others are going to be undervalued because we just haven't seen them stateside as often.
God, are we going to do like a live stack team next or something? Ooh. Are we going to do something disgusting like that where it's Cam Smith, DJ, just getting a complete different mixture? That'd be pretty gross.
So the crazy thing about live is you can get Brooks, Bryson, and Reed in like the bottom half of your draft, no problem. Mm-hmm. Like you don't need to reach to get those guys. So you can have some of them.
This just in. We have 100% exposure to Patrick Reed through 2 drafts.
That's true. And it's just, if he continues to fall to the last round, I don't know how you don't roll the dice there.
Yeah. And again, we're going to Augusta next week. That was kind of my bummer. Like, I like Corey Connors a lot here, but his utility is really just getting you through that round of 6 golfers, where it's like, is Corey Connors going to be the reason that I don't get through my pod? He would pretty much have to win, finish top 3 to bury me to not get through in one of those spots, because he's going to be drafted in every single draft. But like the opportunity cost, he's finished top 10 in 3 straight Masters tournaments. That seems good. I doubt, though, again, you're kind of just fading the win there. And then the other 3 majors hasn't shown out as much as you would expect.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be always an overemphasis on the first round. And I get it, because without that, you can't exist. But where people will make the true money is planning ahead and saying, I'm going to try to get by the Masters, but I'm also going to set myself up for guys that excel in windy conditions for the Open, that guys that excel with crazy rough for the US Open and stuff like that. Because getting through the Masters is great, but then what?
Exactly. We have Scheffler, Finau, Young, Fleetwood, Joaquin Niemann. Feel pretty good about it, but now I'm feeling pretty bad about the fact that if Brooks Koepka's there, I think we have to take him.
Yeah, we probably do.
He's broken, but
I hope this. Who's this guy? What's this guy's name? Who's on the clock?
J Kiz 13.
Okay, J Kiz. Just take Brooks for me. Do me a solid.
Yeah, please do. D. Schmidt, please take him. We do not want to take Brooks Koepka. For the love of all that's good and righteous. Who just went? Ricky Fowler.
Whoa.
That was a reach.
Okay.
And then Hoagie, of course, he's sitting.
All right. Hey, we're going to try to win, 6 figures. And when you do that, you need guys like Brooks, like Bryson, like Minwoo Lee, maybe those type of players.
I kind of like Abraham Answer, but he doesn't really fit with what we're doing right now. Well, actually, he does, because he's on live, and that seems to be what we're doing in the middle of this draft. Okay. We've got this. We get another pick here. Keith Mitchell's been playing really, really well at the beginning of this season. Kurt Kitayama, I don't know if he can maintain. Seamus Power feels like a guy for an Open Championship, not just because he's from Ireland, but this is always the wild card. Every time I see Minwoo Lee, I'm just like, oh God, do I want the guy who hits at 340 with a 2-iron? That seems good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Again, I think the nuclear option is Bryson. But God. Of all the live guys, he's the one.
We might be able to get Bryson. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the public sentiment is coming up here very, very shortly. If people want to take Bryson, but we had no chance to get Minwoo Lee next round. I think we still might have a chance to get Bryson.
That's fine. And again, Bryson, of all the live guys, he's the one I'm most worried about. The injuries and just where he's at. I think it could just be a lost season for him. So that's a concern. Now, if you tell me we get him in the 9th or 10th round, I can live with that, because again, just to clarify in this format, you have 10 golfers, only 6 are going to count for each event. So you don't need everyone doing everything at all times. Yeah,
we drafted dead weight here with Brooks Koepka, so that's good. We don't need him. But if he spikes something, period, like
that's a win.
It's a win, because again, you're kind of on the outside here. We're looking for somebody different to kind of spike on the back end of these drafts every single time. Like, if we don't use Scottie Scheffler every single major, that would be absurd, and we would have an absurd team, because I very highly doubt Scottie Scheffler's missing a cut at any one of the 4 majors this year.
Yeah, again, that's where that comes in. I hope that's the case, because it does mean that we had some dudes really overachieve. Hopefully it's not because Scheffler misses all the cuts, but if he comes in 28th and we're not using him, we're going to be cooking. Let me ask you this. Is there any scenario where Tiger appears on the team?
No.
Yeah, I don't think.
This sucks, because I'm a big Tiger Woods fan. I'm obsessed. And I've always been the rah-rah. I think he can still do it. I bet him to win the Masters. What was that, 3 years ago now? It feels like forever ago. But at the same time, it was always because I was a fan, never because I thought he could actually do it. And now the age has caught up to a place where it's like, if Phil Mickelson can do it at 50 at a golf course as tough as what Kiowa is, I think Tiger Woods has to be very live for the Masters. But outside of that, I don't think any of the other majors, like Oak Hill is a terrible golf course for him. LA Country Club is actually just a little bit shorter. He can still get around that one all right, as long as he's getting it in the short grass. But none of the majors outside of Augusta set up well for him, because as soon as he hits it in long rough, he's dead. All right, we're up here. God damn it, he's right there.
Ooh, this is going to be tricky. So where do we go here? Do we go Ryan Fox, who I do like quite a bit? Yeah.
Now, everything I just said is a lie because now I see
Go
Tiger
ahead,
Woods'
take them.
name
We could put
and I
them
want
on
to
one
click on it.
team.
But my problem is like Royal Liverpool is not a great golf course for him. You get long fescue on both edges. Like the fescue I remember from Royal Liverpool being even a little bit longer. It is whiskey where like he can get a little bit like he can still get through it, but like if he hits it in a bad spot or two at an open championship, he might just like fall over and his leg might not work anymore.
Well, then we don't need him for that round. He'll give us some equity in the U.S. Open if we get
Okay.
good conditions and it's warm for the Masters. And he's the big cat. It's nice to say we've got Tiger on one team. Again, we're building a portfolio.
Okay, this is true. I was gonna say we're gonna have 33.3% exposure to old Tiger here through our
It'll
3
dilute
drafts.
as we do more of these drafts.
Yeah, we'll find out where I feel. I just feel like what hypocrisy I'm creating in
You
the
said a lot of
content
stuff.
streets. I just said a lot of things, expecting him to be gone by the time we got there, and then now you take him. It's called value.
Oost.
Oh yeah, I love Usti.
I cannot believe these guys like Peters and Usti and Reed. I know their concerns, but to me, they're so much more likely to win a major than Scott Stallings.
This is very true. But I've seen Scott Stallings play golf over the course of the last
That's
3
true.
months. So, I mean, at least
Usti,
I have a gauge for it. But I'm so with you. I think that's kind of ludicrous. Hey, let people take best available there. I think we're kind of in an interesting spot. I think we have the last pick of this draft.
we do.
Alex Noren, Louis
Ooh.
Oosthuizen. I'm just kind of clicking on the guys that I think I would have some interest. Thomas Peters, who threw a temper tantrum and joined Live. Mito Pereira, who came one driver swing away from being a major champion already. I think Mito is probably the guy with the highest ceiling of these 4 in a major this year. Louis shown the largest pedigree, and it's hard to not click on him when you know to win 100K, you need an open championship W.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this type of player. I'd say Peters is the most volatile. We know he's had all the talent in the world and he's flashed it, but it really hasn't been consistent. Man, Paul Casey's down there. I forgot he existed.
He's there. He's your boy.
I know.
Long Iron specialist Paul Casey. Let's party. It's so weird too as I upload stuff into a spreadsheet. Now PGAtour.com, they have all the strokes gained data. You can grab it there as well. But it's just weird not having any idea how these guys are playing.
The good again though, 100%, but no one else has any idea either.
Yeah. Who are we taking here?
I say that we take. My vote would be for Mito.
Click draft. There we are, everybody. That is the first draft. Again, 3 drafts now in the books. Going to the old exposure. Patrick Reed, 100% Patrick Reed up until now. That'll be changing here as this gets updated.
I said we didn't just get him, but
no, there it is. I just refreshed it here. Ooh. Tommy Fleetwood showing up. We don't have anybody 100%, which I'm okay with here. We haven't planted a flag on anybody in a harsh way through 3 drafts. We're going to be doing 2 more of these next week as well. So we'll have at least 6 teams. I'm probably going to draft a couple on my own as well.
I'm going to start piling these in.
Yeah, use promo code Stokastic when you do. Get $100 first match deposit bonus over at Underdog Fantasy. But I love that Fleetwood, Fox, Minwoo. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get certain guys like Scheffler because if you don't have the 1 or 2 pick, you're not going to. So that's why you need to get some kind of exposure there. Louis just being in 1 of 3 is interesting because I feel like he's somebody that I'm just going to be eyeing a lot in those late rounds. But anything that stands out to you with our portfolio before we dive back in?
No, I think what's really coming to fruition is we've gone with the strategy in the mid to late rounds of taking these European guys that have a little more experience, Fleetwood and Ryan Fox and Minwoo Lee, guys that have international pedigree. And we're saying these are our flyers and we're jumping on them early, maybe to our advantage, maybe to our disadvantage, but that seems to be the theme so far.
I'm with you.
All right. Let's
jumping into 1 more. Oh, filled instantly.
Hopefully we get the first pick so we could take Rom.
Oh, that would be great. Number 2, we're going to get Rom probably. How good do we run?
He's going to take Rom.
I know. Why are you so sad? Why did you say that last time? We could have just taken Scheffler. But here's the thing. We never would have gotten Scheffler more than likely.
That's true.
You have to get the number 1 pick Probably to have one or two, or you're not getting Scotty Scheffler.
Or Rahm.
I know, but if you wanted Rahm, if you preferred Rahm, tell me you wanted Rahm.
No, I was fine with Scheffler. I know I've seen this story before. Watch when our friend from the last draft, he's gonna take
his 13. He's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Let's go. I'm ready for it. Shelt Dog 10 Berkey. I've seen that name in some drafts. That is for darn tootin'. Let's party. It's going to be fun. This is going to be a fun one. I have a good feeling about this one. This is going to be the one that wins us $100K. Maybe I'll take you out for dinner.
Oh, wow. Fortunate.
I know. I'm nice like that.
Oh, yeah. I'll fly out. French Laundry.
Oh, buddy. You're not even kidding. Little north of me, but also might be making a pit stop there in June.
Worth the trip.
Yeah, I've got a wedding up in old Yountville.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah,
my former stomping grounds.
For real, or is that sarcasm?
What? No, I don't even know. I don't know what state you're in, so no.
California. Hey, let's go. Oh, he did it.
I told you. No. I've seen this story before. I know how things end. Coming off March Madness, I can see it before it happens. Just the opposite of what I want to happen happens. Now, it's not a bad consolation prize to get more exposure to Scotty Scheffler. But man, you see how that's just a perfect encapsulation of what's going on around here. Like when my guy's got a front end of a 1-1, and it's just like, oh, he shoots 94% on the year, and you just know it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And that right there, everybody.
Clip that. Social.
That tilts me more than it should. I don't even know why, because I like Scheffler, obviously.
I mean, that was gold. That's everything I wanted in a draft and more. Is Scheffler to fall to 2 and you being disappointed. I mean, what a life you live.
Yeah, it's because it's not. And if I would have said, nice, we have a chance to get Scheffler again, he would have been pick 0. He wouldn't even been eligible. Very disturbing. Now,
I enjoyed that more than I should have. Now we're gonna have fun because we do have JKiz 13 now, our sworn enemy. Shout out to him. We're just kidding a little bit. Kind of. But he's going to be drafting right in the middle of us. He's going to be sandwiched in between. So we're going to be drafting on the ends of that. Going to have to make some kind of established stands. And again, I'm happy now that we have one Scheffler team, we're going to be building another. I'm happy to just get a completely different variation of the best player in the world right now.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. And we're going to get a different.
Oh, fall to us, Homa, please.
Yeah, that would be.
Maximilian.
That would be really interesting.
No, of course not.
So Will Z.
I can't do it. I would rather do the Pheno double down and then get completely different from there.
That's fine.
I think that's probably the path we go. So again, we've taken the identical 2 players, but I'm pretty happy flag planning Tony Finau in major championships. Bombs it. Really good putter from time to time, can get really streaky with that club. We saw that over the summer last year. Competes at Augusta, competes at every. He should be set up to play well everywhere.
That's what I love. If you told me like win equity by major and you took the difference from the top to the bottom for players, I think Tony Finau would have one of the smallest margins amongst them. He is live to win any of the majors. Now you could say it's probably smallest because win equity is 0 on all 4. I would disagree, but I like this.
I like it too. And I hope, again, we took the Cam Young last time. He just disappeared from us there. Now I think we got to figure out what our game plan is because Jason Day's been playing well. DJ feels like the guy that out of all the live dudes, he's been the most talented player in the world, 5 of the last 10 years on tour.
Also, you have to start thinking about, you're trying to create, just like the DFS lineups, leverage in terms of permutations that people have. How many lineups are going to have Scheffler, Finau, DJ?
Not many.
And that's a combination. You start to say, okay, I know you're charting off a very, very direct path. Say they all win a major. Like, how many people are going to have all 3 of them? It's a super finite amount.
I'm really happy about that start. Obviously, it's the same start we had last draft, only major deviation being Cameron Young. We turned into DJ. completely different iteration of it. Sam Burns, we're not going to get in any of these drafts, which makes me very, very, very mad at you. I hope you know how mad I am at you about it.
This is for the majors. This is for
the Valspar is a major.
Yeah. That's until it is. We'll keep Sam Burns on the sidelines.
All right. Here's who I'm hoping we get next. I don't think we've had any Hatton exposure yet. We've seen him just thrash Bermuda, finish 6th at the Waste Management, 4th, and then 2nd at the Players. The guy 4th at the Arnold Palmer, that is 2nd at the Players. It's
Tyrrell Hatton, an API win.
API win. He did, well, not this year.
I'm just saying. But he's won at API in the past.
Like he has 3 top 6s in his last 4 events.
He's dealing. Now the hand injury, who knows? But again, it's not all about Augusta. And I'm not overly worried. He's playing in Valero, as we film this. If it was serious, I don't think he'd be getting extra reps in a tournament he does not need.
I agree. Please, people, sleep.
Oh, Sam Burns got taken. Tough scene.
Thanks.
I was gonna suggest that we take him.
I've never heard a more blatant lie from you in my entire life.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
All right. There's no chance we're good. Yeah, Hatton just disappeared off the face of the earth. So we're in that same exact range we were at before. I'm hoping Shane Lowry. I would be okay with that. He hasn't had the best form. That is for darn tootin', but I feel like
again, Decky.
Oh, I mean, we got to have 2 guys pass on Decky here. Decky would be like auto click.
But if we can get one selection that's not Lowry or Hideki, we're in good shape. And we just got
We're going to get one of them.
We're going to get one of them. That's great.
Come on.
Just take
Come on.
Eagle, guy.
Do what we want, Woodrow. AG Woodrow, of course.
Okay, but that's fine. Shane Lowry, we know, I mean, he's already got he's already got a champion golfer of the year in the resume. He can thrive, and we don't know whether that's the beauty of this. What if it's hurricane conditions at Augusta? That's Danny Willett style. Like maybe Shane Lowry competes when we don't expect him to.
Yeah. Click on Shane Lowry. Again, I'm so happy having him for an Open Championship. You talked about it. Not at Royal Liverpool. When it was hosted in Northern Ireland, it was kind of an extension. Pretty celebrated, pretty incredible win by Shane Lowry there. Can't imagine what that rager looked like.
When Rory hit it 70 yards out of bounds on his opening tee shot.
Wasn't great. Yeah, he missed the cut there, and I bet him to miss the cut there.
He certainly did.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of pressure coming into that week, but
it was him and Graham McDowell and some of the.
I think I bet Jordan Spieth that week too. Wasn't he in the final group?
Normally with the Open Championship by Saturday morning, I'm so far out of it. And it's always opening week at Saratoga. I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, last year was just the absolute. It was Armageddon for me. I mean, come on. Cameron Young winning over Rory, who I bet, and Cameron Young, who I bet. That was just, I only know pain and sadness at the Open Championship.
Yeah, Cam. Anytime Cam Smith thrives, I'm usually very, this is beautiful. This isn't even a discussion for me. Corey Connors is a really solid target. He fits a lot of what we're doing, and he's our 5th round pick.
Talked about him last time coming through, 3 straight top 10s at Augusta. That seems good. So I think he just adds a level of even keel to this team. DJ, we don't know. Shane Lowry hasn't been normal Shane Lowry, but I like him. And I think Corey Connors is kind of like, I mean, he's going to play well at Augusta, you would assume. It's after that I'm concerned. But Corey Connors, ball striking extraordinaire. Never bad to be good with the old irons.
No, that's going to translate in any course, in any weather, any venue.
They don't play a par 3 course.
That would be sweet. They should have a hot take. They should have a mini golf major.
I mean, a par 3 major would be awesome. Well, not a major. Just give me a par 3.
Or
give me
golf.
18 holes of par 3 golf. Like they have, I think they have something like that on the senior tour. It's at the Bass Fishing, whatever the hell, in Missouri.
Bass Masters Classic, sure.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Oh, I have no idea what we're talking about, but it seems reasonable.
I'm pretty sure there's a par 3 contest thing that
they should do weird stuff like that. Why
Make
not?
golf fun again.
Yeah.
I mean, golf is really fun all the time, except for when I want to break my clubs, like this
Again,
weekend when I couldn't putt again.
another hot take. When they get to a playoff in golf, after each hole, each player should be able to remove one club from the other bag, and you can protect 3 clubs every time. That would be awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that.
How sick would that be? So it's like you get to the 4th playoff hole and you're just like down like multiple irons.
That would be amazing. I mean, you'd get rid of drivers first.
Well, but you can protect 3 of your own clubs. So like
Oh,
you
got it.
protect your putter, probably you protect your driver and maybe a key iron.
Probably a 60-degree, actually. A lot of the best players in
Ooh,
the world can do
okay.
that. All right. So where are we going here?
I mean, I know he's at the top, but to me, Adam Scott hasn't been a target for us yet because we've just been in a weird spot where we couldn't reach for him and he hasn't fallen to us, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, and I think we can get a little bit different on the back end of this draft. Again,
Yeah.
it's been running pretty to form with ADP. I mean, we've been pretty much on cue with ADP
Yeah.
the entire way, but I think we can find ways of getting different on the back half where you find those couple points of deviation. Plus, with Scheffler falling to us at 2, I think it's already kind of a unique build.
That's what you wouldn't think that one spot would matter, but when you turn in terms of the snake draft, just the ability to get Scheffler with a guy, usually that's one spot already gone, actually changes the portfolio and the blend of your team.
All right, we've got an interesting situation here because again, I think Minwoo, we took the swing with him there earlier. I'd be happy. Your boy Fowler just went. That's a bummer. I thought he would be an all right target.
This is where I think we should go either Seamus or Bryson.
Oh my dear Lord.
Or just sign out and just cancel the video. 3 options, really. We could do that.
That might be better than Bryson. I don't know. This is honestly where I think we can take a couple of home run swings. And I am kind of so I think Seamus is the first guy that makes sense. But like if we're trying to get way different, what do you think about going to like a Ryan Fox now and trying to just deviate the entire back half of this team?
We could. I mean, we definitely could reach for him. It's just like, would you rather reach for him or reach for Answer? Because I think you could accomplish that with Answer as well.
I think Answer makes sense. I think there's some of that iron play that you get with Lowry, with Connors. I mean, Scheffler, Finau, and Johnson are good at everything. So I think Abraham Answer is probably a good. I wanted to try to find one way to get really different and shake up the build for us. I think this does it.
Okay. Yeah, and listen, he blends well with kind of it's an interesting round by round theme because you mentioned those guys at the top do everything well. Then it transitions with Shane Lowry, and now you've got Connors, Scott, and Answer. They're more iron heavy than the top half of our draft, and I kind of like that. Maybe we find a couple putting specialists on the way out.
I like that too. And what's the deepest we're willing to go as far as, because again, we have projections here that they give to you at Underdog based on majors people are qualified for, what they're not qualified for. There's going to be players that you take with the 9th, 10th pick at times that aren't qualified for Augusta National. That's a little bit of an iffy thing, but like one of them is going to pop at the other 3 majors.
Yeah. A guy like Bez to me is a good example of, I'd be stunned if he's relevant in all 4 majors. I'd also be honestly stunned if he's not relevant in any major though. Like he really pops up occasionally. Matt Wallace is someone, if we did this draft last week, I don't think his name would be brought up that often. 7th at Valspar, winner at Corrales. This guy used to top 10 at majors all the time. He's a player. Maybe we reach for Matt Wallace at the back. Like he would be available at the end of the draft.
Yep. I think that's kind of the last thing to really discuss here as we're doing our second rounds of these, our 4th draft overall in the $10 Albatross. If you want to jump in, promo code Stokastic gets the job done for you for $100. First match deposit bonus up to $100. I repeat, we're going to do 2 more for you next week. So if you're enjoying this content, hit the like button on the way out. And again, just let us know that you want us to be doing more drafts and watch more of Ben tilt his face off when we don't have John Rahm yet through 4 drafts.
There'll be plenty of that. If you want more tilt, I'll just say real quickly, if you're into the tilting in the betting streets, we have a exclusive YouTube channel that's just PGA betting called Odd Shopper Golf. Me and Eric are on there all the time, obviously for the Masters and all the tournaments. We're going to have a ton of coverage there. So if you like golf betting, we love you here at Stokastic, but don't forget about Odd Shopper Golf as well.
I'm taking Russell Henley to
That's
feel okay
fine.
about that. Yeah, but it falls more into the iron play. aspect. KH Lee was sitting there as well. But
Eh.
if the putter spikes for Russell Henley, it's weird because coming out of Georgia, I don't know if you know this, but I got to play a practice round with him when he was playing in Palm Springs. He was playing La Quinta Country Club. It's one of the 3 rotational courses for the American Express, as it's known now. And he had just won like a Corn Ferry Tour event and flew out, did his practice rounds, got to play with him there. Great dude. Made every putt he looked at. Like I thought, I've just had this bias that putter is good for him, and he's actually a terrible putter compared to top players in the world.
So when he, my practice rounds to Russell Henley are a couple less than you, but he was a great putter at one point, and then he kind of lost it, particularly with Bermuda. And now when he pops putting, he tends to win, and we see that, of course, because correlated. His irons are really solid, but the putter has been a pain point for him. Adam Svensson, you just clicked. What does that mean?
Well, so I'm kind of putting some guys in the queue. We've got 30 seconds. KH Lee, I'm glad we didn't take him there. He's still available if we want to do that one. I'm okay with trying to get different here too. We have Louis. I kind of want to do this. I think we take your dude Norin here and really flip the back half of our build. We have such a strong base here that I think you want to find a way to be unique for that final situation. And like, again, I don't think Alex Noren's going to be helping us at 3 of the 4 majors more than likely, but that one he does, he could be a massive difference maker.
Listen, the goal, you got to think long term. If you do everything super by the book, you're maybe more likely to get out of your pot of 6, but you'd be less likely, in my opinion, to win the big money.
I feel really abnormally good about this team.
Yeah, you like this team more than I do, but I also will concede, I think this team probably is the one that is the most volatile, and that's a good thing.
Yes, we're looking for massive swings. Again, we need to catch lightning in a bottle that final major. And I think just having this high volatility type build like this, if you can sneak through those first three rounds, again, you're trying to finish top 2 out of 12 at both the PGA and at the US Open. If you can just kind of hold steady with that, and I think we have the Bombers to really fit well at the US Open and the PGA Championship. PGA Championship at Oak Hill, going to be long and tough. Let me just throw it out there. That golf course can be a beast from time to time if the wind blows, especially in May. But looking at this team, I feel really good about our base. And then these are just iron flyers. Davis Riley's an iron flyer.
KH Lee is still on the board.
This is absurd. I mean, we're absolutely taking him if he's still there. 3 rounds later.
Yeah, I agree. So I didn't have a ton of interest in him where I thought he was going to go. But at this point, I think that it's much more worth the risk on a guy like that. Him and Gary Woodland, I'm very surprised to see both of them still on the board.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like who. Denny McCarthy, not my guy. Maverick McNeely. Now this dude, if he hadn't gotten injured at AT&T, I think we would be talking about Maverick McNeely quite a bit. Wanted to throw his name out there as somebody that wouldn't be surprised if he had better form. KH Lee gone. So here we go. We have everything at our disposal. This is the name that I can't believe I want to click.
Serge.
Yeah. Nobody's clicking on it, and that makes me want to click on Sergio.
Go ahead.
He feels like a dude who's going to practice really, really hard before majors this year.
And then complain.
Yep, that's exactly it.
I'm fine with that. Listen, Sergio's got, say what you want about him. Got one in the closet.
Got a little green jacket just hanging there, kicking it. Need him to play well overseas, that's for sure. So what was that?
I said it should have been Justin Rose's, but that's all right.
Yes, it should have been. All right, we've got, oh, God, Rosie, poor guy. Scotty Scheffler, he has a U.S. Open, though. Tony Finau, Dustin Johnson, Shane Lowry, Corey Connors, Adam Scott, Abraham Ancer, Russell Henley, Alex Noren, Sergio Garcia. That is, if you ain't first, you're last.
So, again, I already kind of said this, but to me, if you said to me through 4 drafts, what is the team most likely to finish 6th out of 6 in the first major? I would say it's the team we just drafted. If you ask me, what is the team most likely to make a deep run and get all the way to the 4th major? I would also say that team.
Yep.
Just kind of how it is.
It could be fun. I'm going to wait for it to refresh here. Again, 40 minutes of coverage, talking through Underdog. Don't forget to check it out. $10 Albatross. What a great tournament. Great payout structure, 100K to first. And you're getting a sweat through all 4 majors. Get some teams in that thing. It looks so fantastic. If you want to jump to the 250 once you get comfortable with some of these, less than 500 people, 20K to first. Phenomenal payout structure for that as well. And the $3, go get your feet wet before that thing fills. It's going to be very, very soon here. Let's try to refresh. Take one more look at the exposures. I think that draft needs to get finalized for it here. So we might not get that on the way out here, Ben, but we'll be back next week. Any final words for the people as we get out of here?
No, again, you mentioned if you have any questions, you can find us here at Stokastic over on OddsShopper as well. And it's just a great time of the year for golf. A lot of money to be made, and Underdog's doing amazing work. If you are on the fence about signing up, definitely take advantage. Get the first match deposit bonus so you have some extra money to experiment with these drafts. It never hurts to have a little extra bankroll, because I know for me, there's a lot of different ways to get exposure for things like the Masters, and Underdog's one of the best.
All right. Well, hopefully we get John Rahm next week.
Yeah, sure. Be upset with Stay tuned. Come back just for that.
Oh, man. I don't even know. I'm going to draft a team or two between now and next week. But I kind of don't want to, just so I can see your face on what happens if we don't get Rahm. With that, everybody, this is Stokastic. He's Ben. I'm Eric. We'll see you same place, same time next week.